Alright, welcome everybody to the PCDC Motorsports ACC League. I'll be your director and commentary for today. My name is Senna Stuffmail. Before we go racing here with the GT4s, we're going to take a look at the track we have in front of us. So today we're at the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. And of course, this is a track that is in Misano Adriatico in Italy. The track features 16 turns, is 4.226 kilometers long or 2.626 miles long. The race format for today is going to be 110 minutes warm-up, which is coming to a close right now. The drivers will be in the driver's briefing. Driver's briefing always takes about 10 minutes just before the race starts. And right after that, we'll be heading into qualifying 1, which is going to be 10 minutes. And then after that, we'll have race 1, which will be 25 minutes. So a fun little sprint format we have, because obviously we do, after that first race, we have a very tiny break, and then we head into qualifying 2 and also race 2. So 2 races today. Which means that obviously drivers can get a second chance should their first race not go so well, or you can get a good first race and then have a bit of more of a poor second race, and in the end all the points get added up and that will go towards their points total. Let's take a look at the calendar real quick. So obviously our first race we've already had. We're on round 2. So the first race was at Imola, also in Italy, of course. And today we're at Misano, so staying in Italy. Another quite high-speed track. Has some tricky corners, a very technical track, I think, myself. After Misano, we'll also be heading to Laguna Seca. Then we have Zandvoort, then the Nürburgring, and then the Hungaroring. So yeah, a lot of interesting tracks, I think, especially with the cars we have, the GT4 class. That'll be very interesting to see them go around, because a lot of these tracks really suit the GT4 class, in my opinion. Before we get started with qualifying, we're gonna take a quick look at how the standing is so far. So by looking at it, let's see here. So yes, Marcus Lawrence obviously had a very, very good first round, winning both races, which shows in the standings. 200 points there. Thomas Arensman with 172 points, tied with Ruben van der Hedding, also 172 points. Then we have Joshua Layson with 150 points. Then Lee Taylor with 140 points. Then we have Duploy in 6th. Hilla in 7th, Hilla being the first silver driver, so he's well inside the top 10, so he'll be looking for another good result here, I think. Ryan Daniels in 8th, and then Justin Dijkstra in 9th. Justin, one of the drivers that got promoted up to silver this time around, has shown time and time again he has good pace. So yeah, it will be interesting to see again how he can perform today. Then Jordan Wansink had a not a great time last time around in the KTM, was down on top speed on the straight of Imola, and that has really hurt him in the points standings. Obviously, it's only the second round, so a lot of points still to gain. And Christian Venter in 11th, Peter Parnell in 12th. Then we move along. Max van Laar in 13th, Liam Anderson in 14th, and De Boer being the first AM driver in 15th. Then Vincent Erbrich also had quite a poor outing there, as I did not change the points there, so that's a mistake on my part, but I'll change that for the next time around. But so don't pay attention to the points, but just to the standings. So Erbrich, yeah, in 16th, De Knecht in 17th, Gomez in 18th, in 19th we have Hill, then we have Harby, then Phillips, then Rowley, then Fonseca, and then to round out the standings will be Pettit. With that being said, I think our drivers are getting into qualifying here. So if we can, we're gonna try and switch over to that right now. Alright, let's get straight into qualifying here. So we can see a lot of people exiting the pits, only 10 minutes of qualifying. So not a lot of time for our drivers to get their time in, so they'll really have to get a move on here, as a couple of cars are still in the pits there. Get the HUD working nicely. And sorry for a bit of a hiccup there. But yeah, let's get going. Let's see all the drivers who have come out of the pits. Let's for now go on board here, or not on board, but let's keep a track here of Jordan Wansink. Who again, yeah, at Imola, the KTM just not quite working for him there, and he'll be looking to get a better round in this time for sure. Be interesting to see if he doesn't struggle too much. Obviously, Imola has a, or not Imola, Misano, sorry, has a very fast middle sector. And that is where the KTM struggles on acceleration, struggles on top speed. So we'll see if he can make that time up in some of the twistier and tighter sections, being section, or Sector 1 and Sector 3 on the track today. But he's coming up to the last corner here and is going to start his first flying lap. As he comes across the line here. So really pushing the car there into turn 1. As you saw by a little bit of sideways action there. And I am interested to see what the benchmark is gonna be for today, as we'll likely see looking at the times. And again, Vincent Airbrick looking very strong today. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But for now, we will just follow Jordan Wansink around and see what he can conjure up. Behind, I want to say he was behind Martin de Knecht, but Martin de Knecht is not racing, but he, Audi in front of him had a very similar look to it with the neon green or neon yellow, whatever you want to call it. Again, going through that very fast section here is most likely where the KTM is going to lose most of its time. No one has set a time yet. Yeah, maybe drivers cutting a bit too much of the track, running wide here and there. This track does really lend to cutting and extending. So, but we'll see here. Can Jordan Wansink put a good lap in here? As he comes across the line. So Lee Taylor puts in a 43.7 with Wansink 8/10 behind. Wansink did a 44.6, so he'll definitely be looking to put a better time in there, as more and more of our drivers are coming across the line. The only person hasn't managed to put a valid lap in yet. Same with Vincent Airbrick. So Vincent Airbrick, one of the drivers we're really watching here to put the benchmark in. Meanwhile, we do have Leysen, Daniels, Thornburg, Dijkstra, De Boer, Van den Hudding, and Pettit coming across the line. So Daniels doing quite a good job there. Second place for now. 3/10 behind Taylor. And it's gonna come across the line here with a really good lap here, I think. There we go. 43.0 for Vincent Airbrick, so he's put the benchmark in. I think in practice I have seen him do 42, so we'll see how he manages. Let's follow around the Welsh-themed Porsche from Leysen, as he's looking at a fairly decent improvement as well. 3/10 up at the moment. Doing a good job here as Arnsman there. You can see in the top left, Arnsman has put a lap in, 1/10 behind Vincent Erbic, and Lawrence within a 10th of Erbic. So once again, very close in the top 3 there, which is probably going to make for a very good race there. And Joshua Leysen still improving here, looking at a very nice improvement as he comes out of the last corner. Let's see what he gets when he comes across the line. It's gonna be a 43.7, which puts him 7/10 off of the provisional pole time for now. Another big improvement here, Mats Linem Andersen in the Porsche. Porsche really performing well here today, I think. Mats coming across the line here. Let's see where that puts him, within a second of the leader there, a 43.9. Very well done. So Mats also one of the guys that only joined the league last season, I think, and is I don't think he's even done the full season. But yeah, he's rapidly improving, and good to see that he's getting more and more competitive. Another big improvement here. Again, another Porsche. Justin Dijkstra. 7/10 up on his time at the moment. Still has about half a lap to go. In his Martini livery. Very nice looking livery there. Shame that that the liquor liveries were, or liquor and smoking in general, has been banned from motorsports, because I do think they brought along some great liveries, but oh well. We go with Justin Dijkstra coming across the line with a 44.3. Marginal improvement. Another driver here. Let's go back to Jordan Wunsing. 2 minutes to go here for qualifying, so only a short amount of time here before our drivers start their last laps, which this one will just about be the last lap, I think, for Jordan Wunsing, the one he is starting now, but he puts himself up into P4 there, 6/10 behind Vincent Erbic, which is not bad at all. Very nicely done there from Wunsing. Another improvement here. Mark de Boer, also one of our newer drivers. Looking at a nice improvement. Let's see what kind of lap time he can conjure up as he comes across the line. A 45.0 moves him up into 13th position. So the times at the front did get into the 42, so a 42.7 for Vincent Erbic and Marcus Lawrence right behind that, 700s in between the two, like there seems to always be. You know, these guys usually within a 10th at maximum of 2/10 between the guys. So there we go. Another look here, Joshua Leysen looking at a good improvement here, but might get held up by the car in front. He had about half a second, so we'll see here, but that Mercedes might be in the way for him here, which would be really unfortunate, and I think it is. Yeah, he is losing a bunch of time here. What a shame. This is see him lose all the time gained as the time runs out there, so our drivers that are on a hot lap obviously can finish. So there's still some improvement to be had. as Vincent Erbrich again comes over the line with a 42.5, which does put 2.5 tenths between him and Lawrence, but I think Lawrence probably has that spot secure enough, that P2, that he didn't really have to push anymore, but Vincent Erbrich solidifying P1 there. Lee Taylor here in the Audi. Will he crack in within the second of the leader? Let's see as he comes across. And he does. 8 tenths. Here we go, Turnberg. Also one of the newer drivers we have, I think. Maybe the first time I've seen him race. I think the only... Ooh, as he goes very wide there. I think the only Chevrolet on track. But yeah, that invalidated his lap. And as we... oh, I don't know what that was, but session has ended. We're going to take a very short break here. And that is going to be it then. We'll take about a 5-minute break here, as you can see on the screen. So a small little break to get a bit of a toilet break for our drivers before they get into the race. I will take a small break myself, and we will see you back in about 5. Alright, welcome back everybody to the PCDC ACC League here, the GT4 League we have in front of us today. And I'm Stanislav once again, and we're going to give you the full grid rundown here. So in first place today is Vincent Erbeck, which is by this point no big surprise anymore. Right behind him, also not a big surprise, Marcus Lawrence. And then behind them, Thomas Arensman. In fourth we have Lee Taylor. In fifth we have Jordan Wensing, so has managed to qualify quite a lot better than his previous round. And we have Joshua Layson in sixth, Masic Ila in seventh, Mats Lidom Andersen in eighth, Domi Persson in ninth, Thornberg in 10th, Ryan Daniels in 11th, Justin Dijkstra in 12th, 13th we have Ruben van den Hudding, Andrew Harvey in 14th, oh, another Camaro, so there is two Camaros. In 15th we have Mark de Boer, we have, I think Max van Laar, yep, there we go, in 16th, Peter Parnell in 17th, then Brian Pettit. The HUD isn't working to the best of its ability right now. There we go. Brian Pettit. Then we have Eddie Phillips in 19th. In 20th we have Chris Thornton. And to round off the grid we have Miguel Fonseca. As our drivers are coming up towards the last sector here, we'll focus again on Vincent Erbeck and everyone erratically trying to get their brakes and tire pressures up to the level they need to be. As we come to the last turn here, the grid will completely bunch up and we will be waiting on the green flag. Well, let's see if Vincent Erbeck can redeem himself today and get a better performance like Jordan Wensing. And we are green for round 2 at Misano for the PCDC ACC GT4 League as we come into turn 1 side by side with Vincent Erbeck and Marcus Lawrence as they head through this section here. You can see all the cars seemingly getting through cleanly. And Vincent Erbeck leads the way with a couple of people running wide there. The Audi of Lee Taylor, I think, as he is in front of Jordan Wensing there. But the leader's doing a very good job as the leaderboard will sort itself out. But Vincent Erbeck getting immediately getting a small gap here off of the start. Further back here, Justin Dijkstra under attack from Mark de Boer. But nothing so far for him. Marcus Lawrence here being closely followed by Thomas Arensman in the Porsche. Ooh, a bit deep there under braking for Marcus Lawrence. But Vincent Erbeck not yet streaming away, but Thomas Arensman right on the bumper there. They head into this high-speed section, then some gentle trail braking into these slower corners here. Very tight and twisty here, this last sector at Misano. Peter Parnell here also in 17th. Has that Camaro of Matthias Thornberg behind him there. So far so good for Peter Parnell as he holds on, and obviously on the straightaway the McLaren is very strong, so don't quite know how the Camaro does. I think the Camaro is very good on initial acceleration because of the torque that car has. But Lee Taylor here again, a little bit of a scrap going on between Jordan Wensing. Obviously there is only 25 minutes in these races, so if you want to get a move done, you got to get it done quickly, else you'll run out of time. but Jordan One-Sink also needs to be wary with Joshua Layson behind them there. Miller here, Brian Pettit, and I think that is Eddie Phillips going side by side there. Ooh, bit of an incident in front. Quite know who that was. That must have been the Camaro of Harvey. Let's see if we can get a replay. Again, a bit sorry for the delay of the replay. We are using custom skins in the league, and this tends to slightly delay the replays. So Harvey here on the straightaway, heading into this rig braking zone. Let's see what happens here. We have the Martini livery Porsche there. Ooh, just clips the inside. Couldn't quite tell how the overlap was on that pass there, or you know, that he is gonna give the position back there, so that's good to see. But yeah, maybe just a tiny misjudgment from the Porsche there. But this pack really running close together. Look at that. About 7-8 cars all running within about a second, 2 seconds of each other. As they go through this first section. They're all just packed up there. And I mean, the helicopter view is just the best way I feel at this track to get an idea of what actually happened. Ooh, small tap there from the Porsche into the McLaren. And then another small tap from the Camaro into the Porsche there, so a bit of rubbing there, but rubbing is racing, as they say. Going back towards the front here, Marcus Lawrence. So Vincent Airbrake has managed to get about a second gap there, as Marcus Lawrence is busy fending off Thomas Arnsman behind him. Yeah, Vincent looking really good here. You can see there the gap has increased a little bit. See here as well as we have Masachila with Domi Person right behind him. Domi doing a good job of moving up the field. Always a dark horse, Domi Person, as he tends to gain a lot of positions by just staying composed and being consistent on the track. But so far won't get past the Alpine of Hila. Andrew Harvey here again fighting with that Martini livery Porsche of Justin Dijkstra. As they come across the finish line, the average laps, I think, at the front are about low 43s. They might dip into the 42s towards the middle of the race here, depending on how the tires hold up, because track is looking very good here. We have an optimum track condition, as you can see in the top right, and well, it's an ideal temperature for racing, isn't it? A bit back here, I think I'm gonna say Chris Thornton there. Seems like he made a little bit of a mistake. Didn't quite see what happened, but he dropped back to 19th, and Thornberg, I think he qualified quite high up, and has dropped down quite a bit, so maybe the Camaro not really holding up well during the race here. Ryan Daniels now has Max van Laar right behind him as they go into the high-speed section. They're gonna go side by side. But Van Laar is going to think better of it and is going to back out, but he does get a really good run here. We'll be looking to see if that overtake actually happens here. And, Ryan doing a good job so far holding on. Coming up to the straightaway, I think the BMW is also on the straightaways is quite a bit faster than the Porsche, but likewise the Porsche is a bit better in the corners. So now again we have Lee Taylor up here in 4th position. I think Joshua Layson finally made the pass there on Jordan One-Sink. And Joshua will be looking towards Lee Taylor now. Something to note, the Audi of Lee Taylor won't have as good of brakes as the cars behind him. This is something the Audi really struggles with, is braking performance. But Taylor doing a good job so far. And yeah, it's perhaps if the guys scrap in front of him, he's not too far behind. You can see him in the foreground here. He could actually, you know, pick up something here. As Joshua Laysom is going to try something here. They are going to go side by side there, a bit leisurely with the track limits, but again, thinks better of it. A very hard sector to actually make an overtake unless you just have an insane run through there. Yeah, Joshua just right on the back of Lee Taylor there. Someone else who I think dropped back quite a bit here, Mats Linum Andersen. He also had quite a good qualifying session, but does seem to have dropped off quite a bit, so I don't know if he was involved in an accident earlier on. Perhaps had to give a position back to someone, but yeah, 17th right now, not having the best of times. Andrew Harvey here, fighting with Brian Pettit. "15 minutes to go now here at Misano." And man, is this a tricky track. All these stop-start sections you have. You have it in the first sector, you have it in the last sector. Really putting our drivers to the test. As Eddie Phillips is under a bit of an attack from Justin Dijkstra. Dijkstra is trying to slowly make up his way here. Has to run a bit wide there as Eddie Phillips' rear end came loose there a bit. Now really starting to hold up the car behind. Eddie there, ooh, has that big train forming behind him. And yeah, surely he is feeling the heat down in his neck right now. Into the braking here. Justin Dijkstra is trying on the outside. Let's see. Eddie Phillips closes the door there. Nowhere to go for Justin. Oh, side by side now. Justin with Andrew Harvey gets tapped a bit wide. Oh, and Linum squeezes through just barely there as they come through the last corner. So very nicely done by Anderson there. As they go into that first braking zone again. Laps go by so fast on this track. Hard to keep track of where you actually are. I don't actually like the cameras too much on this track. A bit too close to the actual tarmac, I think, in terms of height. But Linum getting a bit feisty here. Had a couple of small taps there on the back of Eddie, I think. He is now going to go defensive for the Camaro behind him. Ooh, and that looked, don't know what quite happened there. Looked a bit funky. Oh, but small taps. Ooh, that was Justin Dijkstra, I think. That got veered right into the barrier there. Ooh, heavy damage. Yeah, that is that's pretty much race over for Dijkstra there. 13 minutes to go. There's not much he's going to be able to do there. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. Again, sorry for the little bit of a hang up. We'll go to the heli cam here. Take a good look. So there's that initial contact. And oh, yeah, I think Justin just maybe on the throttle a bit too early and just seemed to drift into the Camaro there, which sends him right into the barrier. So That is a race ending, of course, for Justin with that damage. I don't expect him to make up much time anymore. In the meanwhile, though, Andrew Harvey got a drive-through, so that's going to move him all the way to the back of the pack, I think. As we have someone else in the pit. Matthias Thurnberg. Not quite sure why he is in the pit. That's a weird one. It doesn't... Maybe it shows up for his screen that he has drive-through. Doesn't show up for mine either way, but they'll both be at the back of the pack now. Meanwhile here, nothing really changed at the front. We still have Lee Taylor in fourth there. Obviously Vincent Ehrbeck, Marcus Lawrence, and Thomas Arnsman. First, second, and third, but those guys have a bit of a gap between each other, so nothing too exciting, but Joshua Layson really trying his best here to work his way up to Lee Taylor, but again, very tricky track here, very much a one-line track here at Misano. Tight and twisty in a lot of sections. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, as I think Peter Parnell here in a bit of a fight with Justin Dijkstra. But again, Justin can't put up much of a defense, I think, as he'll probably just be struggling all the way down the straights. That being said, though, with 50 minutes gone, it does seem like the field has split up a little bit. And, oh, Liam Anderson now also gets a drive-through penalty. So that's disaster there for Liam Anderson. Looking at a pretty good race here. And that drive-through will again move him almost all the way towards the back. So yeah, a bit of a disaster for a couple of the guys here, but again, they do have that second race to make up some points, and I'm sure that's what they're gonna try and do. Hey, Kala, you just came back. What happened to Justin? Justin, there was a bit of an incident in front of him, and Justin went up the inside of someone, and I think I could have we'll have to see after the race once the racing incidents come in, but I think Justin just went on the power a bit too early and veered into one of the cars on the outside of the corner, so it looked like a racing incident to me, but that sent him right into the barrier head on. So yeah, he's has a lot of damage right now, and is just trying to get through the race. Back towards the front here, we have Lee Taylor with Layson right behind him, and now Layson is looking hungry here to get past Taylor there. And Jordan Wansink actually keeping up fairly well here with these guys. In 6th position there, obviously started in 5th, but again, that KTM on the straight struggles quite a bit. Lee Taylor there, pushing very wide, now has Layson right behind him. And well, if Layson wants to do anything, it's gonna have to be under braking, I feel like. He's gonna have to make a decision here as Thornburg gets another drive-through, I guess, or his first drive-through. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Yeah, it does seem that in these slower sections, under braking, Layson always catching up, but then just doesn't manage to get that little bit extra just to clear himself or get himself alongside of Taylor here. Ooh, Ryan Daniels now as well with a drive-through. Man, oh man, in 8th position with 7 minutes to go. Again, turning into a bit of a drive-through fest here today. And with only not even 20 minutes raced, there's been 4 or 5 drive-throughs, so everyone being a bit naughty on extending and cutting the track. But again, like I said, this track really invites people to cut and extend, so where a lot of drivers will make that mistake of just pushing it a bit too far. So I'm sure he'll serve that in one of the coming laps. Yeah, the closest fight we have right now is gonna be Taylor and Laysoneer. But again, Layson just doesn't have that little bit extra, as Jordan Wansink is now right behind him. Layson actually getting a very poor run out of there. Allows Wansink to close up once again through the fast sector. Once again, you can see that KTM just falling behind slowly. But then as we head into the braking, the KTM's really strong. Look at that. Look at how nimble the KTM there. Oh, really good run there from Wansink. They're gonna go side by side here. Ooh, doesn't quite manage it. Very nicely tried there from Wansink. Not quite, and that was probably one of his only shots he was gonna get, but KTM here on low fuel, maybe starting to get into its element there. As well as Wansink, he's probably having a way better time than he was last time around. So Ryan Daniels here, serving his drive-through, which again will put him outside of the top 10, which is going to be a shame. 5 minutes to go here. But again, we focus on Taylor, and Layson is going to try up the inside here, I think. Not quite. Ooh, just maybe tapping there. Not quite. And once again, Layson trying on the outside there. I feel like he's tried that a lot now, but hasn't worked out so far, so might have to come up with a different strategy here, and he only has about 3 or 4 laps left. This brick baking zone. Oh, Taylor a bit wide there, and Layson is gonna take advantage there with Wansink right behind. And is he gonna clear him? It does look like it. Yeah, he gets a much better run there, and heading into that last turn, Layson does go into 4th, but Taylor right behind him here, and let's see if he tries something up into T1. Shows his nose there, but I don't think it's gonna be enough, because that Audi isn't very good on the brakes. Oh, but the KTM now looking hungry as well. Jordan Wansink right behind Taylor now, so Taylor here looking a bit vulnerable at the end of the race. And let's see if Jordan Wansink can actually get something going here off of that momentum of Layson. Heading onto the straightaway. Again, KTM is going to struggle a bit, but actually really good run there from Wansink, and he's going to maybe try something up the inside. Is he? Taylor does seem to leave him some space on the inside, but not enough there, I think, to warrant that move. And he's now the only person there on the inside as well of Wansink. So again, like I said, Person, one of those dark horses in the race, always seems to stay calm and collected and just runs his laps, and then he just turns up in the top 7, top 6 out of nowhere. The only person actually gonna pull ahead now of Jordan Wansink, so yeah, quite the opposite of what Wansink would have liked there out of fighting with Taylor. But again, one of those things you have to consider if you're running close together. Maybe you wanna, stay off of fighting each other for a bit at some times, just to not compromise yourself there. One more driver getting a drive through here, Masichila. As he comes into the pit, that's also going to be a big time loss for him, and, well, a possible 8th position there squandered for him. And now we move towards the front with 2 minutes to go towards the end of the stint here. Vincent Erbrick actually does seem to have made a little bit of a mistake here, because his last lap was a 44.2. So quite a bit slower. If you know, these guys are usually lapping in the low 43s, about a second slower last lap. Has put Marcus Lawrence within that second, but ooh, it's gonna be tough for Lawrence, I think, to try and move here, as it does seem that Vincent is again trying to pull a little bit of a gap here. That fight is not entirely over. I think it is, again, one of the closest fights we have on the track. But again, Domi Person here and OneSync, as they're going to be heading into, it's going to be their last lap, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, there'll be one more lap after this one. They're going to start here and there. You see when the leader come up across the line. But OneSync there, again, just not quite enough there. Coming up to the last corner, into the braking, OneSync getting a very good run out of there, but again, doesn't have the legs on the straightaway. The leader has now started the last lap, so Vincent Erbrick leading the way from the start, and is most likely gonna end up that way as well. And yeah, Joshua Layson doing a very good job there, working himself up into 4th, Taylor in 5th, Person in 6th, OneSync in 7th. So OneSync dropping back slightly there from his qualifying position. Again, the KTM, you know, you need, first of all, you need a very good qualifying session with it, but it is hard once you start squabbling with other cars to keep the KTM ahead, because he loses even more time. Going into the high speed here, we do have Marcus Lawrence actually seems to be hunting down Erbrick here. Going to this last sector, I don't think Marcus has quite enough. It's going to be very hard to try anything here in that last sector. But Vincent Erbrick is coming into that last turn. And if nothing else goes wrong here, he's going to run to the line and win the first race of today. Marcus Lawrence right behind him there. Thomas Arnsman coming across the line in 3rd. Then Joshua Layson in 4th with Lee Taylor, and then Domi Person, very well done from him. Then OneSync in 7th. And then Hudding also coming across the line here in 8th. Van Laar in 9th. Malik de Boer, well done as well, top 10 finish here. And Masichila there, even though he got that drive-through, still manages to put it up into P11, so well done from him, with Ryan Daniels right behind there. Then we have Eddie Phillips in 13th, Brian Pettit in 14th. Dijkstra there, limping to the line in his Porsche, still in 15th, so, you know, not all was lost. Then we have Thornton in 16th. 17th here, Harvey coming across the line, one of the only Camaros. Then we have Liam Anderson, which I think, did he disconnect? I'm not sure. Miguel Fonseca here in 18th, and then something must have happened to Peter Parnell because he has stayed in the pit and is about 2 laps behind, so that's a shame. But yeah, it does seem like we've lost Liam Anderson in the process. But let's see what happens, because it does say Peter Parnell is still active on the racetrack, so we might have to wait for the timer to run out. I'm not sure. But obviously here you have Vincent Erbic here coming across the line first, only 2/10 between him and Lawrence. So, it did seem that Marcus Lawrence is going to do a bit of a victory drift here. Doesn't quite pull it off, but he's trying his hardest. But yeah, Marcus Lawrence really seemed to claw back a lot of time towards the end there. And I'm sure this will make for a very interesting second qualifying and second race. So, lots of people now returning to the pit. I think all the cars are nearly there, waiting for one person being Domi person. Yeah, that was a very fun race already. And we're gonna take a small break again here. So again, we're gonna have about a 2-3 minute break, I think, maximum of 5, and then we'll come back to you with qualifying 2 and race 2. So all is still to play for. All the drivers can still get a second chance of scoring some good points, and I'm sure they'll be looking to do so. So with that being said, again, we're gonna take a small break, and we will see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back everybody to the PCDC ACC GT4 League. I'm still Santa Stuffmail. And as you can see, we are in qualifying too, so our drivers here get a second time to line up their car on the grid. Obviously, how far they will be up that grid is all on their own. We're on the out lap here of most of the drivers. And seeing as we got a very exciting first race and people might have gotten a bit more into the groove, we might see a bit more of a jumbled up grid this time. So, yeah, a lot of people need that first race to kind of get into that rhythm and work their way around the track, and then the second qualifying should go swimmingly. But yeah, notice there in the top right, the conditions changed a tiny bit, so track now up to 27 degrees, which is a bit hotter than it was before, but nothing too drastic. This time around, we're just gonna follow Domi Person around the track. Let's see if we can actually get a little bit of an onboard here. That would be nice. We can actually get a decent look at the track here. Domi, very shaky already coming out of that last turn. Is gonna manage. And we got this very fast kind of S section here. And leads into the fast right-hander here, which is tricky because it does go uphill and off camber. Then we head into a big braking zone. These two corners here help a bit with the camber, and then you need a fast run through onto the straightaway. The thing is that these GT4s, they can handle the curves quite a bit better than the GT3 cars. So, a lot softer suspension for these GT4 cars compared to GT3s, so they can take a bit of a beating. And again, coming into this tricky braking zone, you gotta straighten out the car here and kind of hook it in onto the straightaway. But this is a crucial exit here as you head onto that back straight. This is all flat out from here on out. And see Domi Person here in the slipstream of Peter Parnell doing really well. But he's gonna have to hold off a little bit here. And again, heading into this quite awkward braking zone. But again, this track does have a lot of camber to help you around the corners, so that's something that's nice. But Domi Person just gonna cool down here as he didn't get quite the run that he would want. Again, we have Lee Taylor here putting in that first solid lap, which is a 43.4. Will be interesting to see how much the qualifying differs from that first session. Let's see if the conditions actually matter a lot. And Van der Hudding also getting a time in with a 43.5 or 6, sorry. And then Daniels, Adam van Laren 4th, De Boer, and then 1 sync. But a lot of these guys just getting a bit of a banker in, I think. And you see there, Arnsman also putting a time in. Parnell there, Thornburg. What the other guys are doing as Vincent Herbig comes across the line, winner of race 1. Let's see what he has conjured up. 42.5. Very well done, I think. Ooh, I don't quite know anymore what that, the first qualifying, what his lap was at the end. But I know he pulled quite a bit of a gap towards the end, about 2/10. See here what Marcus Lawrence can do in response to Vincent. Coming out of the last corner and across the line. See what he puts in. Again, about a 1/10.5 away from Herbig there with a 42.7. person here on his second flyer. Let's hope he's gotten a bit better of a run this time around. What he manages to put in. But yeah, again, Domi, very well done there. That first race kept it together and slowly creeped up the order. As he comes across the line, let's see what it is for him. A 44.1, which puts him up into 8th. So very well done from Domi there. So, these qualifyings do really fly by, so 3 minutes to go here. There's going to be 2 more laps for people that cross the line. And De Boer here looking at a very nice relative here, 7/10 up. Still has the last sector to do, so I assume he can still gain quite a bit more there on his flyer. Yep, gaining more and more and more. Heading into this braking, let's see if he nails this. Bit tentative there, but still gets a decent exit. Like a very solid lap here for the Boer. Let's see where that moves him up into. That might that's gonna be close to person here, I think. Yeah, as he comes across the line, it's actually not gonna improve, so must have invalidated his lap somewhere on the track. Means that he's cut or extended a bit too much somewhere, and that has unfortunately invalidated his lap, but was looking really good. Another driver we can watch here is Jordan Wansink, who is 2.5 seconds up as he comes into the last corner. He gets a good run here. That is looking very solid. Let's see. Very good there. Very good exit for Wansink. 3rd position there for Wansink, so very nicely done. Managed to get that KTM into the 42s. Very solidly as well, 42.8. So very nicely done with the KTM there. Let's see if there is any other big improvements. I think we're gonna look a bit further back. Headed here. Ooh, bit of a tank slapper there for Pettit, which is gonna see him lose 3 or 4 tenths, and he was only 5 tenths up, so that's a bit of a shame. And anyone coming across the line now will be starting their last lap. See what Van Laar can do here. See if he can just get that P9 there. It's going to be close, I think. Yeah, P10 for him, so just over 2 seconds slower than our leader, but puts himself up into the top 10 there for qualifying. Clayson also looking at an improvement, but not too much. This is actually ooh, very good exit there, very good run. Actually is going to lose the time there. With 2 tenths up, so this could see him move in front of Taylor, but has to abort his lap. That's a shame. Meanwhile, again, Vincent Erbich, wow, I didn't even notice. He did a 42.1, so insane lap there from Vincent. Arensman is also going to invalidate his lap, I'm pretty sure, on that one. But yeah, that should totally solidify Vincent's run there. Marcus is in the pit, so he won't put another lap in, but again, 1-2 for those guys, and Van Lundhudding in 3rd. See if Arensman actually gets a valid lap here. Nope, doesn't look like it. The only person looking at a nice little improvement. 4 tenths up at the moment, but let's take a bit of a look a bit further back. Brian Pettit here looking at about 9 tenths so far on this lap, so As long as he can string this lap together, yeah, he's looking at a very nice jump up the field here. Let's see here. Gotta get the run. Ooh, quite a bad exit out of that slow hairpin there. A tentative on the exit there as well. He's gonna lose some more time as he runs to the line. Let's see where that puts him. 15 for Pettit. More car coming across here. Going person. That is, ooh, just marginally slower than Hila there. And again, that has been qualifying. So again, we're gonna take a very small 2-3 minute break, I believe, and we're gonna head back into some more racing. So don't think anyone hasn't finished their lap, so I'm pretty sure we're just waiting for our drivers to return to the pit. Let's see there. Yep, 5 minutes. So again, a little bit of time here for our drivers to get a quick bathroom break or get something to drink. And well, I suggest you guys do the same if you're watching. And we will be back in 5 minutes, and we will once again have a full grid rundown and then get into some GT4 racing, of course. So see you in 5. Alright, welcome back everybody to the PCDC ACC GT4 League. I am still Senna Stoffmail and bit of drama here. Vincent Erbich into the pit here. Let me just get on with the grid though. Marcus Lawrence in first, Jordan Wansink in second, Ruben van den Hudding in third. Yeah, that was a bit of a shakeup. I don't quite know what happened to Erbich. Lee Taylor in fourth, Lars Layson in fifth, Extra in sixth, Arnsman in seventh, Maciej Hila in eighth, Domi Persson in ninth, Thias Thornburg in 10th, Van Laar in 11th, 12th for Ryan Daniels, Boer in 13th, Pettit in 14th, 15th for Andrew Harvey, 16th for Eddie Phillips, Peter Parnell in 17th, Liam Anderson, who has slightly disconnected, won't be in this race, Chris Thornton in 18th, Fonseca in 19th, and to round off the grid then we have a bit of a surprise, which will be Vincent Erbich. So originally clean pole position, but seems to have had a bit of an issue, which has moved him to the pit. We'll keep on top of that, as he will start from the back of the grid then, and that's gotta be tricky, working your way up towards the front in a 25-minute race. That's gonna be near impossible, I think. But I mean, he has the pace to do it. As the cars are gridding up here, everyone will get nice and close together. I do wonder now if that has... I guess that has put Lawrence on the front row alone, then he won't actually have anyone contesting him going into turn 1, so that might be really good for him. So again, we bunch up here and wait for the green light. And the second green light of the day for the PCDC ACC GT4 League here at Misano, going into turn 1. Let's keep an eye further down there. Ooh, bit of contact between two cars there. I don't quite know who that was. But yeah, those two cars there going off. Domi Persson as well going off. And fights going on all around already. As Lee Taylor is still in fourth, but Wansink there. Ooh. As he moved up, let's see how the leaderboards sort themselves out real quick. There we go. So Wansink again. Don't quite know. Did he qualify in fourth? I'm not sure anymore. But doing a really good job there, pulling up alongside Van den Hudding. As they're gonna go into that braking zone, and Wansink really good on the brakes there, really where the KTM shines. But is he gonna be able to hold it around the outside? No, he can't. And Van den Hudding will just pull along here and just pull in front of Jordan. Jordan will get a bit of slipstream down the straight, which will be vital for him in terms of surviving. And Ryan Daniels here has Max van Laar right behind him going into the braking zone. If anything happens between these guys. Doesn't look like it. All good for now. In the meanwhile, Vincent Erbich has started the race here, but obviously is far behind the pack now since he started from the pits. If you do start from the pits, obviously you only get a green light if once the full grid has come past, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he's gonna be quite a bit behind, but we do see that gap forming already for Marcus Lawrence. But Jordan Wansink here in a way better position in race 2, and oh man, closing right up to the back of Ruben van den Hudding. Van den Hudding will actually most likely have quite a handful of work here today, trying to keep Wansink behind, because Wansink is looking hungry as he goes up the inside with a late move. Sensational move there from Wansink as he tricked Van den Hudding there into thinking he was just going to break behind him, but completely outbrakes him up on the inside, and that was, well, that was a very nice move there from Wensink. And he's gonna immediately pull a bit of a gap, which he does need, because now heading onto this back straight, the KTM can use all the help, as there is a car spun around there. I think that's Justin Dijkstra again. You can't quite take a look back at that, but side by side here through the fast section, and Wensink again on braking. Ooh, very deep there for Wensink. And he's still gonna pull alongside, but obviously has to be careful in his rejoin because he left the track. And oh man, Wensink really on the limit here, it seems. Pushing very hard, and I'm sure he'll get another opportunity to try and overtake Van den Hudding. And that puts Van den Hudding up into second again. Another little fight going on here between Matic Hilla and Thomas Arnsman. Hilla got that drive-through last race. In the first race, I wanted to say. And is now looking to make that time up again. Yeah, Arnsman dropped a bit further back. I think in the first race he qualified third, if I'm not mistaken, and is now in sixth. So that's what I was talking about with these two races and two qualifying sessions. You can always have some differences because the drivers do get a bit used to the track, get a bit used to the rhythm, and it actually is beneficial for a lot of drivers to have that second race where they can perform a bit better. There's a little fight going on here between Andrew Harvey and Max van Laar. I think Harvey actually just overtook van Laar, but I might have just missed it as they did a fast section here. Van Laar showing his nose. That'll be tricky to make a move there. Going into the hairpin again. I wonder if Harvey and Van Laar are actually closing up to the Boer. It does look like it. But Van Laar really from the back of the Camaro here of Harvey, and got a pretty good run there out of the last corner. He's gonna show his nose up the inside here. Let's see. No, not quite. Just trying to spook Harvey off of his line there a little bit. And a very good run through sector 1 here from Van Laar, and again right onto the back of Harvey. Pulls to the inside, is gonna try under braking. Side by side. Ooh, Harvey runs a bit wide there. Mistake from Harvey, which allows Van Laar to come through. And Van Laar will have a much better run on through the straightaway there. So that is moved on for Van Laar, and now he can hunt down the Boer. We see a bit of a squabble there behind as well. Pettit and Chris Thornton here catching up to Harvey as well. So Harvey starting to drop back a little bit. 7 minutes or so into the race. But Van Laar now real close up to the Boer here, and the Boer starting to form a little bit of a train behind him. This fast section, Van Laar again trying to move up to that inside, showing his nose. Ooh! Big shunt there. Wow! Well done by Van Laar. Very nicely done. Got a bit of a shunt there from Harvey, but manages to, well, frankly, pull out one of the sickest drifts I've seen so far in our league. And keeps it together, actually, and hasn't lost too much time to the Boer, so very well done from Van Laar there. Very nice. Meanwhile, ooh, I don't know what happened to Layson here. Let's see if we can get a replay of this one. So Layson all the way down to 7th or 8th. See if we can get the replay here. If it comes up again, sorry for the delay. So, what is happening? So, side by side with the Aston of Who would that have been? Not quite sure. Arnsman, probably. Is that a? Oh, that's a Porsche. And then, ooh, just gets a tap there on the inside from Masichila. That's a shame. Oh yeah, bit of a mistake there from Hula, but he gave the position back, so all is well, I believe. The front now, Marcus Lawrence has managed to pull a big gap there with Vincent Ehrlich, not actually in the running here. Marcus has a pretty clean run here, and he can actually he can take it quite easy there. We'll just have to keep it together for 15 more minutes. Van Laar has Harvey again moving up to the back of him. And Harvey will of course have to be careful there, because he wouldn't want to spin, or well, almost spin Van Laar. If he wasn't the Drift King, then he wouldn't have saved that, but he did. First Thornton here. A little bit of a mistake from Pettit, I think. So Thornton just pulled ahead there. He's now trying to hold on. Pettit a bit off the line there, and is going to lose out here. With a very bad run there in Sector 1. And Layson now fighting with Daniels. Meanwhile, though, One Sink still right onto the heels of Van Hudding, and again, he has to make sure here, if he goes for a move, it has to be done and dusted, because you can see those two cars behind him, Taylor and Arnsman, are right there. So if they fight too much, both of them are going to lose out, I'm sure. The lose out will then be Van Hudding and One Sink. But heading onto the straightaway, Lee Taylor has a very good run here behind Jordan One Sink, but can't quite get it done under the braking, of course. Two ends of the extreme here with the KTM. A very slow car, but very, very good on the brakes and the corners. And well, the Audi, just the opposite basically. Very decent top speed. Very poor braking, because it's I believe it's one of the heaviest GT4 cars, and the KTM is the lightest, so yeah, Jordan, ideally of course he would get something done in Sector 1 so he can build that little bit of a gap he needs for that back straight to buffer himself up. Van den Hudding here, again in a bit of trouble. Surely this must be a possible move here for One Sink, but again on that straightaway, Van den Hudding is just going to pull ahead with that straight line speed of the BMW, and One Sink gets a very good run again out of the corner. Not quite enough. Lee Taylor now also has Arnsman there, who is trying a little bit of a cutback, I think. Doesn't quite get it done, but this would be, of course, the ideal situation for One Sink in front. If these two start squabbling, then he'll have a bit more time to plan that overtake on the Hudding. Ooh, Arnsman there, nearly tapping the back of Lee Taylor. Masachila and Ryan Daniels also going at it. Masic made the overtake work there, now moved into 7th position. Miguel Fonseca now being overtaken by Vincent Ehrlich. Ehrlich has actually managed to make up 1 position so far. It's probably not that much more he's gonna get, but Yeah, we'll see how Vincent keeps going here, but it's going to be very tricky for him to get some more positions here. He's already spent half the race trying to overtake here. Van den hitting there, pulled a little bit of a gap. Taylor still has Arnsman behind him here. Arnsman getting a really good run there out of the corner. And Hila actually here moving really, really close up to Layson. So Hila looking to make something right. Of course, in the last race he was up into 8th position up until he got that drive-through. So looking to do a bit better in this race. He is right on the back of Layson, so sure he'll be looking for a move to make in the following laps here. Keep an eye on that. Bit of a bad run there for Hila. Ooh, slight tap there from Ryan Daniels as Hila was way offline and actually really slow through the corner, but no harm done. Oh, got a bit of a move here. Thomas Arnsman pulling side by side with Lee Taylor, and Lee Taylor pretty much defenseless there. Very well done there from Arnsman. Late attacking move, but very cleanly done. That'll see Taylor losing out. Headed here side by side with Domi Person. Domi Person tries up the inside. Pettit actually running a bit wide there, which will allow Domi Person to come through. Domi's gonna pull, not quite pull in front, but ooh, again side by side into the braking. Tiny little tap there between the two. Take another look at that. What happened there? And sorry for the hang up. Custom skins caused the game to slightly hang up. Let's go to the helicam here. The initial move starts there. Very late braking move from Domi. And hangs it around the outside. Pettit gives some good space there. Now Pettit is still in there, and they do head side by side into that braking zone. But yeah, I think Pettit just outbroke himself a little bit there. He's trying to hang onto it, and yeah, just slightly tapped Person there, but. To see that no one else was involved really. And Justin Dijkstra, man, his day can't get any worse. He can't get a break. So yeah, first race, a lot of damage for Dijkstra, and then the second one is also accumulated a drive-through here, so this will move him back quite a bit here. With 8 minutes to go, that is not a good prospect to have. Towards the front here, you still have Jordan One-Sink right behind Ruben Van Netting. Man, a lot going on here. Ryan Daniels and Lasic Hila, just non-stop action here on track. Like side by side into the fast sector. Kind of straight away into that awkward braking zone, but Ryan Daniels is gonna pull ahead here. And now on their way to hunt down Layson. Well, I'm heading there again. One-Sink right behind him, but again, One-Sink just not enough on the straights, but you can see through the corners how much time that KTM makes up. But of course you do need an opportunity to pass somewhere, which is very hard on this track. Gonna stick his nose to the inside, trying to throw off. Ooh, barely some contact there. And again onto that second straight. One's a bit wide there. Obviously the GT4s can take a bit of a beating on the suspension, so not a big problem if you run wide there. Mark the Boer here has Thornton, I believe that is, yep, that's Thornton right behind him there. And, ooh, who was that? Message Hila. Ooh, must have made a little bit of a mistake there, Hila. Maybe pushing a bit too much, and now onto the back of these two guys. A little bit of a touch there between the Boer and Harvey. And Hila is just trying to navigate his way through as well. Vincent Every still pushing his way, still trying to make up some positions. And oh no, disaster for Thomas Arendsman, who has actually gotten a drive-through here. That is good news for Lee Taylor, of course. He'll move up into 4th position, and One Sync will be safe from any sort of attack that Arendsman might mount against him. But again, you can see One Sync here very close to the rear of Van den Hudding here. Surely one of these laps he must get that opportunity to try that pass again. You can just see that BMW streaming away down the straight. 5 minutes to go here, but again, you'll see here how much that KTM closes up through that corner. Look at how much corner speed that KTM has compared to the BMW, but again, you can have all the corner speed you want, but if you don't have an opportunity to actually overtake someone, then it's going to be very difficult. Well, Harvey still working away, currently in the top 10, but does have Hila right behind him here, and is actually going to give us space there as the Boer runs wide, which is going to see him lose 2 positions. And Hila and Harvey going side by side again into that fast sector. Harvey just pulling ahead in the Camaro there. Now we head into that heavy braking zone where the Boer is trying to send it up the inside there, I think, but obviously doesn't manage to. Oh, Hila there with a very good run. If he can compromise Harvey's line in front. Doesn't quite seem like it. Harvey's still under attack from Hila here. I think Hila has to try something under the braking because the Camaro isn't the best on the brakes. Van Laar here as well. Still in a tussle with Ryan Daniels. Sorry if this, we're jumping all over the place here, but yeah, Daniels is going to pull out that move, and I think Van Laar was trying to set up a bit of a cutback there, but just left it a bit too long there, and is going to lose out that position, which does move Daniels up into 6th. Again here, Chris Thornton and who might that be? Thornburg. They're running side by side. That's a great shot. That's a great camera shot there. really like that one, but it's one of the only ones I really like on this track. Andrew Harvey still under fire here from Matsuchila. And Hila with a very good run. Is he going to try something up the inside? Not quite. But I do think Harvey there compromised his line. Then you're going to see the Camaro pull away quite a bit on the straight, and then the Alpine closing up on their braking. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go, so we'll still be starting the last lap. And this battle still raging between Van den Hudding and Wansink, but nothing Wansink can do at the moment. Oh, very close again. And they run onto the back straight. Here's where the BMW again is going to stretch its legs. Actually, Wansink here put off Ruben Van den Hudding a little bit. Run through that corner. Let's see if we can get something done in that last turn. As we can hear in the background there, Marcus Lawrence has started the last lap. And Vincent Herbe now also getting a drive-through, so not the best day for him. Very good first race for Herbe, but then kind of fell apart for him in the second one with that start from the pit. I don't know quite what happened. We're actually gonna stay on board here. Wansink. Yeah, there's just not much he can do here. Maybe he can hope that... Oh, Van den Hudding, his line is compromised. This is the only chance that Wansink has here. Can he try something under braking? Let's see here. Oh, not quite. Van den Hudding going defensive though, so Wansink has a better run out of that corner, but can't quite pull ahead. The KTM just doesn't have that little bit extra on power. Wide line into there for Wansink, trying to get a good run onto the straight, but isn't quite gonna manage. And I think that'll be that battle over and done with. One more battle going on here. Andrew Harvey and Thomas Arnsman. They're going at it still. As Arnsman, a little bit of a tap there. And, yeah, and meanwhile, Peter Parnell also getting a drive-through, so not great for him. Harvey getting quite a poor run there. Just might see Arnsman. We try something. And Marcus Lawrence has come across the line for that second win of the day. Vincent Herbe winning the first lap, first round, and or the first race, sorry. Van den Hudding second, Wansink third, Taylor fourth, Layson fifth, Ryan Daniels sixth, Lars seventh. Behind him there, Matsuchila finishing in 8th, so where he was that first race. And Harvey in 9th. Rounding out the top 10, we have Arnsman in 11th, Thornburg, De Boer in 12th, Thornton in 13th, Erbrich in 14th, Peter Parnell in 15th, Domi Person in 16th, then Eddie Phillips, then Brian Pettit, then Justin Dijkstra, which is, yeah, not had the best of races today, just poor overall results for him, and he'll be looking to do better in the next set of races, I'm sure. And we have one person still going here, Miguel Fonseca. He's still yet to come across the line. And he's coming up to the last turn here. And that will see everyone finish here today. So, Yeah, in the end, that's gonna make Vincent Airbrick finish up in 18th, Parnell in 19th. Yeah, really interesting race there. If we can get some of the guys in here for a little bit of an interview. Let's see here. Who can we get in? We'll get the race winner from the first race in first. Hello, Vincent.
Hello.
So, how did it go for you? So obviously, first race very well done, very good race. But I'm quite interested to hear from you what happened the second race.
I did a gros jump on the formation lap, and I
Oh
got
no!
teleported to the pits. And when you start from the pits, it tells you first of all, okay, it will start when the green light comes, and you are like, okay, I won't be so far off.
Yeah.
But actually, when the green light actually comes, you get 30 seconds extra penalty all of a sudden.
Oh no!
Yeah, I got a drive through at the end, battling with Domi. So yeah, bad race.
All right, so I actually didn't know that was the thing for this for the sim. If you like spin or something, that it teleports you to the pit.
Yeah, if you are in the red zone in the HUD, then you have like 20 seconds to get back. Otherwise, it teleports you.
Yeah, and I think I mean it was the second race, right? The second qualifying, you actually managed to set I think it was a 42-1, which was about like half a second clear, I think, from Marcus Lawrence.
Yeah, it was too bad because I felt like I unlocked some pace for the second race in quali.
Yeah, it really seemed that way, but nevertheless, still one race win. Would have obviously been better if you could have picked up a couple more points in the second one, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yes, indeed. Thank
But
you, Ski.
yep. See you.
See you.
Okay, and then we will get our second race winner in here, which will be Marcus Lawrence. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So Marcus, very good results overall, I think. Second place and a first place, so I think it was a good day, right?
Yeah. Second race was a little bit boring. Vincent obviously spun on the formation lap and he couldn't get back in position quick enough, so he got teleported to the pits.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pulled away from the group behind. I could see that they were in a massive battle, so I think that's what slowed them down even more. I think if the Hudding would manage to break away Jordan, I reckon he could have probably done similar pace, but because they were battling, I actually could just maintain my pace and pull away.
Yeah.
So yeah, P2, P1, pretty good.
Yeah,
overall.
again, a big points grab for you, and well, the fact that Vincent made that mistake on the second formation lap hasn't obviously done him any good for his points.
No.
So I think.
But did he finish?
I think in the end he still got a drive-through as well at the end. So.
Oh my god.
He only finished 18th, I believe.
Oh well.
So yeah, but I think that's it's gonna be a pretty sizable gap for you now in the championship standing. So that's a positive.
Nothing but wins he needs now.
Yeah, exactly.
I expect nothing less.
Yeah, very well done, and we'll see you next week for the GT3s.
Thank you.
And let's see, can we get one more person in? Who can we have in here? I think. Let's see if we can get Jons in. Hello, Jons.
Yes, it's me.
Yeah, I thought well, we see too much interviews from people at the front. And I just
to talk about the guy in last, the guy was 23 seconds away from the first place.
I just well, yeah, but like we need a couple of different experiences, so that's why I wanted to ask you how your races went.
This second one was even worse than the first one. The first one I managed to give at least some consistent laps. on this one. Oh, I could not save the consistent laps on this second race. I was maybe more tired and less focused and did a lot of mistakes. But yeah, it was normal. Last place.
Yeah, and how are you finding the BMW? Fun to drive?
Yeah, it's
or-
fine. It's nice. It's cool. Yeah. It's better than the Audi. I tried the Audi. I didn't like it really. Audi. The BMW is it's pretty. There's a good top speed, but I lack the skill to get it faster.
Yeah, I think the
I
Audi
normally
is.
walk 4 or 5 seconds off the pace, so there is no
Yeah, I
no
think the
miracles.
Audi is very poor on the brakes. So
Yeah. And when I have troubles in braking on the
yeah,
brake on this I don't know if it was my my wheel that start working better brakes, but I felt the brakes worse on this race, so I don't know what happened. I can confirm that right now. See if the brakes that sometimes my brakes my brakes stop work. Oh no, my brakes work properly. Yeah, it was me. Probably the tire.
oh
Give me
man.
a tire and there is no other way around. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just
I got
how it goes
lost.
sometimes.
At least on the first race, I was not last because some people
Yep,
drive through penalties.
yep, exactly. But
At least I managed.
nevertheless, very well done, and I I commend you for showing up every time and finishing all the races. So that's
Oh yeah, yeah. When I can play, I will play. I don't mind. I don't get. I was watching. I could not save the replay of the second race. I don't mind being last. There is no. I play for the fun of it. So
yeah,
I
that's
just
good.
want to get the car. The car that the car is always on the track. Do not spin. Do not make many mistakes, and try to be consistent.
There we go. That's all we need, and I think
The rest will eventually may come or not. I don't really fuss about it.
yeah. And with that, I think that's a perfect way to end it there. So thank you everyone for watching. I've been Senna Stoffmail, and be sure to check out some of our partners. Grid Finder, for one, you can see their logo in the bottom left. If you want to go to their website, you can find all sorts of leagues there, and you can filter everything by platform, by what game, what category you want to race in. Obviously, we would prefer if you would join our league, and which you can perfectly do at pcdc.simstrata.com. If you go to there and log in via Discord, you'll get connected to our Discord, and you'll get all the help there. So again, Simstrata, thanks for the hosting our website and our servers. And with that being said, it's been a very exciting couple of races, and then next week we will be heading to the GT3s, and I think we are at Suzuka, so that's going to be an exciting one. So once again, pcdc.simstrata.com. If you want to join the league, we do not require you to be some sort of alien. All we ask of you is to get the car around the track safely, and then you're good to go in our league. And yeah, it's been fun here at Misano, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.